you try to do YouTube videos that you think people like. I try to do videos I think I would like. How's that? So I'm going to tell a story because people like the stories. The cool thing about stories is there'll never be another YouTube video just like it because it's my story. I'll be back with one of those stories in just a second. It's most definitely old school. I'm Dale Verts. So here's the story. It's about a guy, bass fisherman, that I made mad, made happy, kind of made happy, and then made mad again. Took fishing real serious for a lot of years. This would have been early, 80, 84, maybe 85, something like that. And it's a club fishing deal. And I fished a lot of bass clubs over the years, probably like a lot of you guys. There's good things about bass clubs, and there's bad things about bass clubs. For me, unfortunately, sometimes the bad seems to overshadow the good. But what happened here was this. I was a good fisherman, especially for my age. I didn't have a boat. I didn't have a bass boat. I had my little aluminum leaking John boat with a deck in the front and an 18-horse motor. It scared me to death. It ran like 22 miles an hour. But I was the guy in a bass club that wanted to be the best in the world and tried real hard to do it and come across wrong to folks sometimes. And I knew that at the time. I was never cocky, I don't think. Because I found out real quick being cocky did you no good when they whooped you the next day out. So what happens, one morning we're at the gas station where some of the guys hung around. Everybody was bass fishermen. The guy that ran the gas station was a bass fisherman. We'd hang around there before we went to work in the morning or lunchtime or whatever. I was in there and another guy from the club come in, and the club meeting was that night. His name was Ed. I really don't remember his last name. Of course, I probably wouldn't say it, but his name was Ed. He come in. I said, "You going to be at the meeting tonight?" He said, "No, probably not." He was done with it. And I said, "What? What's going on?" He said he was tired of the highfalutin super bass fishermen. He was tired of them. Well, we had 3 guys in our club at that time fish BSS stuff. And it had some success. So I asked him, I said, "Who are you talking about?" He goes, "I'm talking about you." 20 years old, 21 years old, wherever I was. Really? I said, "Man, Ed, sorry about that. I don't know where it comes from." So he came to the meeting that night, and the club tournament was that next weekend. I asked him at the meeting, I said, "You want to go practice with me? You want to go fishing?" Yeah, he said he'd like to do that. I felt horrible. I wanted a guy, I wanted a guy to like me. I sure didn't want him not to like me. So we go fishing the day before the tournament, probably a Saturday. I don't remember not working Saturdays so many times, but anyway, we go fishing. So he's happy about going fishing with me, and we fished pretty hard that day. And I remember I caught one keeper bass, one 15-inch largemouth that day. We fished hard. It's September, this time of year. Tough stuff, y'all. Lake of the Ozarks. Upper River, my favorite place. And I remember talking to him specifically about what we were doing, what I was trying to do all day long. We parted ways that evening. He was in a pretty good mood, I thought, till I won the tournament the next day. Man left the tournament angry, never come to another club meeting, and never talked to him again. That was 83 maybe. You got to ask yourself, what'd I do? I hold out on him? No. I guess I just didn't tell him everything. I was fishing good back then, y'all. And he made comments to other people, and it didn't matter. I got over that pretty quick. I only had like 3 keepers that day in that tournament. Not even 8 pounds. Fishing was tough. Before forward-facing sonar, when you had to go beat them out. And I caught all 3 of those fish on a buzzbait, just like I did that fish Saturday with him. I sure did. What he didn't get And so many people don't get it when it comes to tournament fishing. It's not what you catch the day before the tournament. It don't matter till you weigh them in. What we did that day before was eliminate stuff. And I know I talked to him about that. Did I tell him I was going to be fishing where I was going to be the next? No, I didn't tell him I was going to be the next day. I didn't know for sure. I did catch one of those keepers, though, in that same general vicinity where I caught the one with him. I did, and I missed her. I think I just missed a good one, a bigger fish. But I caught the fish essentially doing the exact same thing, throwing that buzz bait in 1.5 feet of water and covering all the water with it. He didn't get that. I would like to think a guy would say, man, you figured him out, you did good. No, he left mad. I never saw him pull his boat again. He had a green and white champion. You couldn't miss it. I felt bad about it to a degree, but then again, I did my job. My job was to catch keeper bass. My job was to win tournaments. That was one of my first actual outright wins. And I think about that the other day because all the stories that got in my head, that's one I never got any sort of closure out of that with him. Never saw him again. He fishing the other club. They started another club a few years later in Sedalia where no pros were allowed. I guess I was considered a pro. I was trying to be a pro. I was glad they didn't want me in their club. We went out and practiced 7-8 hours. I caught one keeper, did not see another keeper, and I won the tournament next day, taking what I'd figured out that day and what I knew from past experience, and went out and won the tournament. And that's what my job was. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do when things are working well. And things worked well for me that day. And I pissed him off. Just thought I'd share it with you. I got so many stories. And the thing about the stories is, like, they're unique to me. They'll be unique to this channel. They're not copying off anybody else. I mean, there's things that have conjunction functions with other things, I'm sure, because done some of the same things some of you guys did over the years. But that's just one of them. I'm going to start telling some guide stories. I got guide stories I think statute of limitations run out on. Sorry about link in the description, y'all. Check it out, please. Great sale going on right now. I'm going to go do something else before it rains because it's fixing to rain, which thank goodness we need to rain here in Central Missouri. God bless you guys. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye.